been featuring a number of people for the past couple of weeks since the month of August, as a matter of fact. I've been featuring a number of people, and the idea is to just put out so much information till, they say that until you've gotten tired of hearing certain things, that's when you just started hearing it, So I'm going to be singing these things over and over again. I'm going to be drumming it over and over again. I have a favorite portion of scripture in the book of Proverbs. Let me read it for some of you. Okay, it's called Wisdom's Call. As soon as I finish reading that, I will get into my conversation for today. I did not plan to have this talk. It just came up. All right, so let me read you up something in Proverbs chapter 8. What version should I use? Okay, I'll use the New International Version. Okay. Now listen and listen good. Proverbs chapter 8, I'll read from verse 1 to let me see. Okay, let me do 1 to 11. I'll be very fast. Just flow with me. Okay. It says, does not wisdom call out? Does not understanding raise her voice? At the highest point along the way, all right, where the paths meet at the intersection, she takes her stand beside the gates leading into the city. In other words, at the city gate, at the entrance, she cries aloud. This is wisdom crying aloud to all. Where am I? Okay, to you, O people, I call out. I raise my voice to all mankind. You who are simple, gain prudence. You who are foolish, set your hearts on it. Listen to me, wisdom speaking. Listen, because I have worthy things to say to you. I open my lips to speak what is right. My mouth speaks what is true, for my lips detest wickedness. All the words of my mouth are just. None of them is crooked or perverse. To the discerning, all of them are right. They are upright to those who have found knowledge. All right, choose my instruction instead of silver, knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is more precious than rubies, and nothing you desire can compare with her. All right, that is wisdom calling out. Now, why did I read this? Because a lot of people don't know that there are lessons, there are principles, there's a wisdom call every day when they wake up and when they step out. All right, that people choose to stay ignorant and do some of the things they do, many times it's because they're actually ignoring wisdom. They're ignoring wisdom. Why am I saying this? Because many of the people in relationships, okay, deliberately refuse to get help until things have gotten really bad. That's wisdom calling out and them ignoring. All right, until things get really bad, really embarrassing, really hurtful, and then you start looking for who can I talk to, and then many times they don't even have the right people around them to talk to. So you're getting advice on something very sensitive from people who have no bearing, no understanding, no insight in the subject matter. All right, so that's why we do what we're doing, because it's wisdom calling out every Wednesday 9 p.m. on love and relationship. Come and listen, come and have sense. You don't have to have heartbreak. You don't have to go through like this. You don't have to go through like that. All right. So today I said I'll be speaking about why relationships fail, okay, and how to make yours work. All right, and these are just, like I said, very fundamental reasons. They are non-exhaustive. There are so many others. All right, so anyone I don't mention, feel free to to mention it. All right. And by the way, in the comments, you guys can feel free to also keep it real in there. All right. Now, one of the major, in no particular order, okay, one of the major reasons people's relationships fail is because they got into relationships with the wrong reasons or for the wrong reasons. Many people relate with this. If you can think back on your first ever relationship, your first girlfriend, your first boyfriend, perhaps it was when you were a teenager. It was, you were beginning to, self-discovery was becoming a thing now. You suddenly discover that you're cute. shaped, as a guy, your voice started to break and you felt like, man, you started getting tall, and then you just started getting more aware that these girls are fine girls, man, and somehow there's some self-awareness coming out. I mean, for the ladies, now, I mean, the shape starts coming out, the genitals start becoming more pronounced, the boobs, the shape, the behind, and yeah, the guys start taking notice of you. All right. Guys guys begin to reach out to you, want to be friends with you, want to hang out with you, and at that point, there's also that self-awareness with a lot of curiosity. All right. Many times, those are the stages when many people get into their first relationships. All right. Just for the fun of it. Just to gratify their feelings. Their feelings all over the place. They don't even understand these feelings yet. They just want to, I think I like him. I think I like her. Okay, let's make this something, and then before you know it, it's a relationship. And then the trouble there is that because it's a wrong foundation, everything is probably wrong about that relationship because they're not even ready for it in any way. Okay, after a while, they get hurt and they go their separate ways. Okay, one of the wrong reasons people get into relationship is that they just want to feel among. They just feel like, I shouldn't be the one left out. Now everybody is talking about what their boyfriend did for them. There's that song they sing for people on Valentine's Day. Valentine is coming. Where's your boyfriend? You are sleeping alone or something like that. Lonely. So there's a kind of subtle pressure, right? You don't want to be left out. You're in a community, you're in school, you're with your colleagues, and everyone is speaking about how my fiance did this, how my boyfriend did this, oh, I'm chilling out with my boyfriend, oh, I'm traveling with my boyfriend for vacation. Everybody's talking boyfriend talk. Oh, my boyfriend bought me this, my boyfriend did that for me. And you just feel like, no, I don't want to be left out. Me too, I must have a boyfriend. Now, what's going on here? Oh, yeah, you go and find boyfriend by force. All right. And, some people get so pressured to the point that they don't have boyfriends, but they get things for themselves as ladies. They buy things for themselves and say, oh, my boyfriend got me this wristwatch. Oh, my boyfriend got me this phone. And they bought it with their money. Why? Because there's a pressure somewhere. There's a pressure that makes you feel like if I am not in this league, I'm missing out or I'm not among or, and listen. One of the things you must overcome in life is that pressure that comes from the environment, that comes from your peers, that comes from popular opinion and popular patterns. You don't have to follow popular patterns, all right? You don't have to. What must happen is that at every point of your life, you are, as it were, you are convinced or you're working with conviction per time. All right, so that you're not doing things just because every other person is doing it or just because it looks like it's cool and I don't want to be the one left out. Okay, so that's one of the reasons a lot of people get into relationships, just so that they don't feel left out. Okay, and at the end of the day, many times it leaves people with hurts. All right, it leaves people with a lot of hurts. And the thing about these relationship hurts is that no matter how you think you have healed from it, it's left a residue in you. Somehow you begin to interpret your next relationships, your next connections with other people. You begin to interpret some of those things with the prisms of your past relationship, from the paradigms of that past relationship, from the experiences of that past relationship. You see, and that is why for some people, because they have had so many disastrous relationships, it just becomes too difficult to now commit to somebody who is genuine and to somebody who is good, because their hearts have been so messed up. No fault of theirs, all right? I'm sure if they knew better, they would have done better, right? But because their hearts have been so messed up by all of these experiences, all of these things come together and confuse them to the point that they cannot identify a genuine person. And even if they try to even identify and try to put some faith there, before long, you see all of that baggage playing out in the relationship. And it's part of the things I'll talk about in why relationships fail. Okay, so the first reason I'm just establishing is that people getting in for the wrong reasons. All right, age is not on my side. Oh, I must get married. Someone has told me before that, I dated too many people and I felt I was getting old. So I just told myself that the first person that says they want to marry me, I will just agree to marry the person. All right. Well, somebody came and said, I want to marry you. And she agreed to marry the person. And in 2 years, they were out of the marriage. Why? Because the reason for getting in was I just want to get married. All right. And then Now, I'm not saying that some of those marriages cannot work. All right. That's not what I'm saying. All right. So, but the point is that many times when the foundation is wrong, all right, and many other things are not factored in, which I'm going to be sharing, of course, that relationship is going to be doomed from the beginning. All right. So I don't overflow this point. I have a number of other points to give. When you get into relationships for the wrong reasons, it's one of the assurances that that relationship most likely will fail. And then what are the wrong reasons? If there any reason that does not speak commitment towards your partner, towards the long term, all right, can be a faulty foundation. Now, don't forget that I always like to establish that when we're talking relationship, when I am talking relationships on my platform, all right, I'm talking about relationships that lead to marriage. I'm talking about relationships from the premise of marriage. That is why I'm here. I mean, there are all kinds of relationships out there. Do you understand? People do dating for whatever reasons, but when Chimezi or Coach Maisie is talking about relationships, it's always in view of marriage. Do you understand? That's what I am. I'm a premarital coach. So that's my space. That's what I speak to. All right. And I always advocate that there is no reason getting into a relationship just for the fun of it. All right. I advocate that people should get into a relationship with someone that they're willing to get married to, they're comfortable to get married to, all right, and someone that they can get married to that person in the visible future, in the near future, 1, 2, 3 years. Do you understand? Not one day. If they say, one day in the next probably 7 to 10 years, perhaps I'll be married you. No, not that type of thing. All right. So if you cannot put marriage in view in the near future, I don't think you should be talking relationship. Yeah, the person can be your friend. You can be good friends. All right. No strings attached friendship. All right. These things are possible. These things are really possible. And I need to talk about them a lot so that more people know that they are possible. Some people think that once you're friends with the opposite sex, it must be a sexual relationship. It doesn't have to be, man. You guys can just be friends, for goodness sake. You guys can have healthy conversations. All right. This is part of the problem. So I said people cannot pick from among their friends to get married because they have slept with all their friends and they have seen how useless all these people are. So by the time you look at all of them and say, this one, I know they want place. That one, shit, they find money. That you have messed up relationships that could have otherwise been pure and would have helped your sense of judgment and commitment later. Okay, so basically what I advocate is when you get into a relationship, all right, ask yourself, can I get married to this person? Can I get married to this person in the near future? All right, besides me wanting to get married to the person, does the person also want to get married to me? All right, because it's easier if both of you are in that, that same ship. It becomes a purposeful one. All right. But if you're thinking marriage and the person is not thinking marriage, as is the case in many relationships, most times it's the ladies who are thinking marriage. Guy man is just having fun and being okay, right? And then just posting you or telling you nice things to keep you in the game. All right. In some cases, the guys are the ones who want to get married though. And baby girl is just like, man, I'm still very young and hot in the market. A lot of guys are still toasting me here and there. Now, come on, why should I just get married right now when I can make a lot of money and have fun from all kinds of people? All right. So you need to be sure that both of you are in the same, ship. All right. Your purpose is the same. You guys want to get married and you want to get married within the visible future. All right. For me, that is the right reason to get into a relationship. Why? Because it will also help you to begin to, properly evaluate and assess that person and, have guided conversations. Guided conversations. There's no point having serious conversations with somebody who's just there to play with your feelings. There's no point. You're wasting your time. And these are nothing people try to do. This person is not serious. You want to force seriousness on the person. Said it will not work like that. The next thing you say, if I get pregnant for him, I'll not hook him, I'll not tie him. You tie yourself. You tie yourself. You can't force any man to be committed to you, as a matter of fact. Same way you can't force any woman to be committed to you. It has to be from their own hearts. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. So much for that point. Now, let me tell you another reason why relationships don't work. Yeah? You might not see this one in books and stuff like that, but real life. One of the reasons, the second reason I'll give here why many relationships don't work is because many people keep their relationships a secret. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Many people keep their relationships a secret. You don't want anybody to know that you're dating this person. You don't want anybody to be telling you what to do, what not to do. You just feel, I know exactly what I'm doing. This is my life. I can live it the way I want. In some cases, you know that other people in your life will not approve of this thing you're doing with this person. You know that they will not agree. So you keep it coded, you keep it secret. In some other cases, that there is no way that at this stage in your life, you should be in this kind of relationship. There are other pressing things you should be committed to. You know it all, but you just feel like joining the bandwagon of those that say, I'm in a relationship. All right? And then you find yourself being in a relationship that you have no business being in. Okay, so that is another reason people keep their relationship secret. And guess what? When it's a secret, what you're doing to yourself is that because you cannot talk about it to anybody, when you really need help, you cannot bring it up, because the first thing you're concerned about is people are going to wonder, oh, so you've been dating this guy and you didn't let us know, you've been dating this girl, or you guys have been seeing yourself for how long and you didn't let anybody know, so you want to avoid all of that, and then you just keep it a secret. In fact, another condition that is even worse than these ones I've said is when it's your partner who has insisted that this thing between both of you must be secret. That is the one that is more dangerous. And in my book on red flags, it's one of the things I highlight, because when a partner is telling you, keep this thing we're doing secret, you're asking yourself, why does it have to be secret? Who are you hiding it? Who are you keeping it from? All right. Why can't the important people in your life know that I am also in your life? Why can't they know? All right. Yes, I'm an advocate for relationships to be discreet until it has to be public, right? But even when it is discreet, the important people in both your lives must understand that something is going on. That's exactly what I'm saying. Not the one that they tell you don't discuss it with anybody, don't discuss with your sister. That's your sister that is the closest to you. Don't tell her anything. Don't discuss it with your pastor, don't discuss it with your big brother, don't discuss it. By the time they're cutting you out, isolating you from everyone, you should be concerned. Exactly. Thank you, Risa Mark. Yeah, it can be private, but not a secret. It can be private. As a matter of fact, it should be private. That's what I meant by discreet. All right. Some people get somebody ask you out today. Tomorrow you have put it all over Facebook. Oh, my love. Oh, you start posting love everywhere so that the whole world should be happy for you that you have found love. When even you yourself, you are in doubt. So you know that this thing, I don't even trust this guy. Finish. Do you understand? So what is all that show for? People need to learn discrecy. It's one of the marks of maturity, as a matter of fact. You need to know what to say, what not to say. You need to know when to say and when not to say. All right. So people keeping their relationships a secret is part of the reasons why those relationships fail and fail bad with a lot of hurts. Because you just feel like at this point, nobody should know what I'm doing. Or maybe because you've had a number of relationships that did not work before, then this one you're trying to see if it's working. I say, I will not tell anybody. Now listen, while I'm not saying you should tell everybody you're in a relationship, there should be authority figures in your life that should be aware when you're getting into such serious things as a marital relationship. Oh yes, there should be a counselor, a coach, a pastor, a leader, a boss, a mentor, an elder brother, sister, a father, a mother. The people that matter in your life that can give you instructions and you listen to should be aware that there is this person I'm considering. There is this person I've brought into my life. They should be aware. So that if you're having any challenge at the time, you can seek guidance. Do you understand? All right. So don't join those that are doing relationship secret. Nobody should know. Nobody should be aware. Both of you are in the same church, but one sit down there, the other one sit down there. Nobody should see you people talk to each other. Please, it's a red flag. And like Pastor Kingsley will always say, if he is hiding you from someone, then he's hiding others from you. Yeah? Is that how you used to say it? If they're hiding you from others, then they're hiding others from you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the other people in the game. Yeah. And one of my guests I had here some 4 weeks or so ago, she said the same thing. She was in a relationship with someone, this guy in church, Christian brother thingy, and he told her, hey, nobody in this church must know what's going on. We have to keep it, strictly between the two of us. Won't tell anybody. And she was faithfully doing that. She did not know that she was probably number 3 or 4 on the list. Until the day Kasala boss and everybody started saying me too. And she's like, what's going on here? It's not only me. That is the danger of secrets. All right. But imagine that, you're in a church where, your group leader is aware that you're seeing this person. Your pastor is aware that you're seeing this person. If they know something about that person, they will call you and say, this one that you are agreeing for, brother, this. Are you aware that he was married before? Has he told you? Somehow somebody will point something to you. Do you understand? That is the idea of having authority figures in your life, carrying them along in making relationship decisions. They should be aware. Don't join those who want to keep their relationships purely a secret. When the problems start coming, you won't have the mind, you won't be bold enough to go and report it, because after all, I never carried anyone along. All right, so I hope I've said enough on that point. So take note, if you're in the secret gang relationship, please get your authority figures. If you don't know anybody you can talk to, you're listening to me right now, reach out to me. All right. One of the things I do for people is mentorship, is coaching, on their relationship journeys, and I'm glad to say that, by God's grace, we've seen successes. We've seen relationships that became marriage. All right. As a matter of fact, one is happening this weekend. Yeah, and we've seen some that somewhere along the line, it had to cut, it had to spoil, you had to kill it. It's like, cannot work, and both parties will be fine or are fine. Do you understand? Because it's important that there is guidance. It's important. I hope somebody gets the point. Now, another reason, this one is quite painful. Another reasons relationships fail is that there are no good models around. Many times, some people are surrounded by people who don't know how to make it work, people who have never themselves had a working relationship, people who have not had a working marriage, people who, who are full of stories of woes and calamities in relationship. So because there are no good role models to emulate, many people just stay not knowing what to do and then struggle to get by in their relationship. All right. So it's important that you identify people, within your immediate community whom you think are fine, or, you admire something about their marriage. If you have therapists and counselors and coaches like us around you, it's good you reach out to some of us and say, okay, you know what? I just want you guys to mentor me. I just want you guys, I just want to ask you questions about marriage and how you make it work. And, I just want you guys to show me the way, basically. All right. It's good you have marriage mentors. It's actually good. It's good you have people that you're telling yourself, okay, there are certain good qualities in these people's marriages that I would love to emulate. I would love to replicate in my own. These guys, they seem to be having a beautiful relationship. I want to know how they do it. How come I never see them quarrel? Meanwhile, in my own relationship, every day quarrel, problem. So you need to get a marriage mentor. You need to get a relationship mentor. You don't know who to speak to? I'm right here. Holla, drop me a DM and let's talk. All right. So that's another reason many relationships fail, because people look around and all they're seeing are bad examples. After all, this one left her boyfriend. After all, this is his sixth girlfriend since I knew him last year. After all, this one, all manner of terrible, examples around them. And that is why statistically it is said that children who grow up in homes where there's domestic abuse, those children actually grow up to become abusive themselves. Okay. More often than not, 2 out of 50%, of those children. Why is that? Because there's been an imprinting, of those negative qualities by virtue of being exposed to it. It's been imprinted in their subconscious. Somehow they just believe this is how it works. This is how relationships happen. This is how it's meant to be. Do you understand? And then it plays out in their own lives. Have you also heard how that people who say, I saw my parents have a very terrible marriage, and I swore to myself that I will never marry this kind of man, or I will never marry this kind of woman. And guess what? All the women they have gotten into relationships with are that kind of person. All the guys they have gotten into relationship with are those kinds of guys. Why do those things happen? There's a lot that happens subconsciously from the examples around you. All right. So think about it. By the time you grow up under the influence, under the environment of tutelage and mentorship of people whose marriages and relationships are working, all right, it does that positive imprinting in your subconscious, and you too, that your relationship can work. If you grew up in a home where your father could apologize to his wife when he offended her, you too will know that you can apologize to your spouse, to your lady, to your wife when you offend her. All right. One of my marriage coaches shared how, he had this disagreement with his wife that day, and in the evening during their family moments and devotion and stuff like that, he had to apologize. He had to say in the presence of his children that I'm sorry, I apologize to his wife, and I'm sorry I did this and did that, and immediately after he did that, what happened? His son looked at the daughter and said, okay, I too want to apologize for how I treated you. And the guy was shocked, like, wow, so what if I did not demonstrate this? That means this boy would just continue treating his younger sister in a kind of way. I just think he is right to do that. But because he saw a positive example modeled to him in his father, he too learned that he should apologize to his younger sister. So imagine that kind of boy growing up later to be in a relationship. He's going to know, based on the things he has seen, based on the ways he has seen his father treat his mom with the love, the care, the deliberateness, the attention, the faithfulness, the commitment, and all that. All right. He's going to naturally want to behave the same way to the lady he chooses to love. So one reason relationships fail is because people don't have good models, no good examples around them. So you choose to be a good example to those who are coming after you, all right? Choose to be a good example. Choose to make your relationship work. Choose to be committed to the process, all right? Now, it's possible that you're committed to the process, you're doing all that you can, and it still doesn't work. Oh, yes, it's possible. There's room for that, okay? But what matters is that the state of your heart is one that is committed, all right, to learning the right values and virtues and then putting them to work. Okay, it of course takes two to tango, all right? So sometimes one person is ready and willing, the other one is not. It may not work, all right? It may work over time, all right? Which is another reason several relationships don't work. I didn't put it in my list, but let me just mention it. Another reason relationships don't work is that people don't know that these things will take time. It will take time for you guys to really learn each other. It will take time for somebody to grow off that unacceptable behavior into the one that you're trying to preach for them to accept right now. All right, it's going to take time because it took this person all their lives to be the kind of persons that they are, to internalize those qualities. Do you understand? They are not going to put it away just suddenly because you say, I don't like it. Come on, who do you think you are? You just wave a magic wand and somebody's behavior of the past 21 years changes? It doesn't happen like that in many cases. So it's going to take time. All right. But many times people are not that patient. They're not that patient. That is another reason relationships don't work, because people are not ready to stand the test of time in that relationship. Both of you know that you're good for each other. You know that you're compatible. You know that, but there's this area of disagreement. You just feel like everything is good, but this one. I like to ask a lot of people in my counseling sessions. I say, okay, what if your spouse picks up this thing in the next 2 years? What if he picks it up in the next 5 years? What if in the next 6 years, he's everything you have desired and more? You're just, every day of your life, you're just giving thanks to God. Oh, thank God I didn't make a mistake. Oh, thank God I chose you. What if you only achieve that thing in the next 3, 5, 6 years? And that was you being consistent with your own good behavior. All right? What if that was the way to achieve that thing? But guess what? Many people don't wait. In fact, statistically, it said that the average duration of a relationship is about 2 years and 9 months. Because at that point, they can't bear it anymore. Now, like, I beg, what's all this? Like, I'm moving on, Joe. I beg, enough of all of this. 2 years and 9 months, a lot of people have moved on. Marriages have packed up, too bad. All right. So, because people are not willing to do the time experiment, to stand the test of time. Okay, so that's another reason marriages and relationships don't work. All right. Another reason that these relationships fail is that the relationship was based on feelings and sex from beginning. Okay, it was based on feelings. Now, let me say this again and again. I think I've said it severally, but I'll say it again. It will not hurt me to say it again and again and yet again. All right. Feelings are good. They are okay. Feelings are put there by God. It's part of your humanity. You cannot remove it. Don't pray away your feelings. It's good. You will need it. You get purpose. You get why. Do you understand? However, your feelings must be brought under your own control. You don't allow your feelings to take the steering wheel of your life. If not, you would crash. You would not make the right decisions. All right? Feelings are fickle. All right? They come and they go. They are influenced, by environment, by so many other things externally. Do you understand? So you cannot make decisions on things like that are temporal, that are transient, that are here today and gone tomorrow. All right. You can be feeling excited right now, and in the middle of that excitement, something provokes you and you switch to anger. You switch to provocation. I'm sure you have seen people have a nice time. You've seen people banter and have healthy, what was healthy argument at some point, and at some point somebody says something and the other person, flips, and before you know it, they are exchanging words and exchanging fists and blows. What happened? It's feelings. Do you understand? But for relationships that should stand the test of time, you don't base them on feelings. All right. So if I feel attracted to you now, and because of that, I say it has to become a relationship, and then we become an item. And then tomorrow, I find areas of you that I consider, entirely unacceptable, and then I'm offended. Then now that I'm offended, I say, okay, because I'm angry with you now, the relationship has to end. Then next tomorrow, something happens and I'm happy with you again. I say, oh yeah, let's come back. Then we not come back. Then 2 weeks time, I know you again. You say, in fact, I cannot take it anymore. No more, I'm not doing it. Do you know that this is how some people live their relationship? This is how some people live their relationships. Oh yeah, sorry now. Yeah, sorry, I'll not do it again. Oh, but I've told you before. Oh, you have an argument. Oh, let's go. Yeah, scatter. No, me, I don't take no sense. You go away. Then when you're not feeling mushy, you not say, oh, I wish you were here. Me too. Oh yeah, sorry now, not this again. Oh yeah, now. When are you coming over? This night. Oh yeah, you have arrived. Now see, those are relationships based on feelings. It won't take you anywhere. Because in matters of life, you need sound decision making. Many times, what's the grammar? Many times those decisions will counter your feelings. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. I missed the line of expression I was trying to use. Many times those decisions will not agree with your feelings. So let me give you very classical examples. Are there not times when maybe because of the weather you're just enjoying your sleep and you don't feel like going to work today? What do? Do you really just stay there and sleep and not send an email, don't take excuse, you don't take leave, you just stay and say, after all, I don't feel like going to work today. I will go tomorrow if I feel like it. Is that what you really do? Some people who work for themselves, that's how they do. But then ask how much progress they're making in their work. Do you understand? Because success answers to habits, to patterns, to consistency. All right? So, sometimes you don't feel like going to work, but why don't you just sleep? Sometimes you feel like overfeeding. Why don't you just overfeed? Sometimes you feel like eating a lot of cake. Why don't you just go ahead and eat a lot of cake and a lot of ice cream? When you know you're lactose intolerant, you will camp in your toilet for a while. You will camp there all night. You will camp. All right? Why don't you just follow your feelings like that? You're passing a grocery store or a fashion store, a designer store, and you see beautiful dresses, beautiful bags, accessories, perfumes, Why don't you just walk in there and say, I just feel like owning it. And then you just go there and just take it. Why don't you do that? Because you feel like it. Why? Because the important things of life need sound decision making, not feelings. You see a beautiful car you like. Why don't you just go to the parking lot, ask for the key, collect the car, and drive off? Why don't you do that? Even when you imagine it sometimes, after the imagination, you now come back to reality and continue where you're going to, pay transport and go to where you're going to. Why don't you just do the things you feel? So why is it when it comes to relationship, when it comes to love, you say, oh, I just feel this way, based on that feeling. I give you my heart and everything that is with me. And then tomorrow you start crying foul. So you don't take relationship decisions just based on feelings. You take them based on reason, sound judgment, sound reason. And when you're reasoning, when you don't trust your reasoning, please outsource your reasoning. Consult, all right? Consult with other people that you can trust their judgment on the matter. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, having authority figures in your life. There's how you'll be so drunk in love and you call that your best friend that you know has sense, and sound judgment. And the person will tell you, it's love that is in you. Have you finished your project work? Have you submitted the proposal you're developing for that company? Have you completed this? And they will bring you back to reality that, hey, there are some other things you should focus on right now. Or they tell you, oh, this person that you're saying is your everything. Have you forgotten what he did to his past girlfriend? Have you forgotten what she did to her past boyfriend? All right. Are you ready to live with that? If you're the one that happens to, are you ready to take it? And then they help to bring you back to reality. But guess what? Many times, no, the way I feel for you, you carry your feelings and put it on the steering wheel of your life, and then it begins to drive you haywire. And then guess what? One heartbreak, you cannot concentrate at work. You start getting queries. You start falling sick. You start losing your mind. You start hallucinating. People start wondering what's going on with this girl. You start running into depression, or with this guy. It doesn't have to be the girl. You start running into depression. I mean, I know guys who we shake their heart like this and they'll fall sick. They'll fall so sick and they cannot eat. They cannot do anything. I remember a story in my year one in school, one of my friends was sick and, normal. We just went there to, hey, what's going on, to wish him well and, just check on him. And I was asking, like, what happened now? I mean, you were fine just the other day. What happened? And while they said, one fellow, one girl, we in the toast, so they're breaking hearts. I laughed. And boys who can be very brutal. Myself and some of the guys with me, we laughed. We laughed this boy back to sense. You have just entered school. You have never even known what this is. Girl that is breaking. Year one, girl have stopped scatter your heart like this. Come on now. We laughed the boy back to reality. I told him, my friend, you gotta have a life. What's wrong with you? You're in school. You have not started doing anything. It's girl that say, I don't want you to be my boyfriend. And you are sick. You cannot eat. Don't eat now. When the hunger mature, you will not offer. Do you understand? Well, that is because you should use reason in matters of love and relationship, not feelings. Okay? And then, of course, not sex. What sex does is that it confuses your emotions. When you get sexually involved with someone, you're activating those hormones, of fondliness and bonding, and you just feel like, oh, I really love you. It's not love. Is the chemical that has been secreted in your brain and in your body at that point that is telling you this is the feeling that comes after this activity. All right. And that's why, sex is supposed to be reserved for marriage with your partner. All right. So that together you guys can share that bond and that intimacy. Okay. But when you distribute freely here and there to any and every, all right, you start confusing yourself. You start being bonded with so many people informally here and there. All right. And then before you know, you say, I love this one, but I also love this one. I'm confused. Yes, you shall be confused. Yes, because your spirit, your soul has been mingled and tied and just all over the place. Yes, you will be confused. All right. So please, you don't get into relationships because of feelings or because of sex. All right. Some people, right, it starts out as just, we just liked each other. There was nothing, no conversation, nothing, but you're just getting down together. And then later, you start developing feelings for each other. I say, I have feelings for you. That will say, me too. Say, okay. And then we just continue with our feelings. Feel us. All right. It's a wrong foundation. It's a wrong foundation. All right. Because you have not even checked if you guys are compatible. You've never even checked if you guys really are going the same direction. You've not even checked what kind of family values you guys have. I've said again and again how that somebody might be your best friend or your good friend, all right? But when it comes to marriage, you discover that your families cannot work together. And you don't want to use your marriage as the seed for discord and tension between your two families. You don't want your marriage to be what is causing that one. What you want is to be married into a family that will love you and accept you, and the families too will love each other and accept themselves. That's what you want. Don't say, I don't give a damn, I don't bloody care. It's just me and you for life. It's not me and you for life, anything. No. There are people involved. There are people involved now. There are family members. Do you understand? So there are other considerations you need to have, and don't just say feelings or good sex. All right. Let me see how much more I can take. Oh yeah, let me say this. I've said it somehow, but let me just put it in clear words. Another reason many relationships fail is because there's no proper definition of what the relationship is. There's no proper definition. All right, now let me say this. Understand what I'm saying, all right? Because I'm not endorsing bad behavior. I'm just explaining something to buttress a point. Now, when you don't define what you're doing, how do you even know what you're achieving? How are you able to achieve your goals? Like how do you really know what you're doing? All right. So those are the ones we call situationships, where something led to something, we just got attracted to each other. We start lusting after each other, and then we say we are dating. But what you actually mean by you're dating is that you're sleeping with each other or that you're romantically involved. All right. Without any clear sense of purpose, without any clear sense of commitment. All right. It just starts as, That person that you can pass time with and, just indulge your sensual desires, and both of you just think there's some level of pleasure and understanding we have with each other. But there's nothing defined there. Then guess what? Tomorrow you see that bro with another sis, and then you're angry, you're jealous, and you start bringing down the roof. Or bro, you see that sis with another guy, and then you start getting jealous, you start wanting to personalize her, and she's wondering, hey, but come on, because you never discussed anything. You don't even, we don't know what we are doing. We're left to us, we're just enjoying ourselves, and it is what it is until one person is tired. So that's wrong. You don't do that. You don't do that. And see the bad part. Many people start relationships like that, and then one party starts expecting the other one to take it seriously. Right from the beginning, nobody told you the other to take anything seriously. Some ladies believe that you can corner a guy into a relationship like that. Don't try it. Listen, you cannot corner a guy into a relationship because you're giving him your body. You cannot. In fact, it's the more reason that relationship will not work. Why? Because a guy is getting what he wants. He came there for the juice. He came there to enjoy himself, and you're supplying it to him. He's fine. He doesn't need anything more from you. He doesn't want no commitment. You start talking commitment, he will run away from you. He start posting you. Why? Because typically what he came for was your body, and you made it very readily available, and he got it without any commitment. So why should he start talking commitment later when he's already getting what he wants? Somebody says, why is he not talking about marriage anymore? Meanwhile, you're living with him, and you've been living with him for the past 2 years. Of course, because he's married to you already, but without a proper commitment to you. So you're there in the house feeling like a wife. Meanwhile, somebody is out there just living the way he wants to live with no commitment. When you annoy him, tells you to get out. And he's not saying after all these years, no, he didn't make any commitment to you. I'm not saying that is good, but I'm just saying that people actually walk themselves into this kind of confusing and complicated situations, and they start blaming every other person. Don't forget that scripture I like to quote for you people. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 3. The Bible says, a man's own foolishness ruins his life, yet his heart rages against the Lord. Religious people, when it has spoiled, based on your own foolishness, your own decisions. Remember the scripture I read at the beginning? Wisdom is calling out, but no, they ignore wisdom. And then do their own things. And then when it fails, you start saying, hey, God, if you are there, why me? Oh, I serve the Lord, I serve you. And allow this kind of thing. Because you ignored wisdom. It's not God. It's you. It's wisdom that you ignored. Do you understand? So I'm saying this so that people learn how to properly define their relationships. Define it. And even if your definition is, we don't want to be anything serious. We just want to be having fun with ourselves, whatever you call that, right? If that's what you want to define it, that is for you. So long as tomorrow you don't start expecting that thing will become a long-term relationship or that it will become marriage. Don't forget what I said earlier. I'm not endorsing that, but I'm saying that it's even better that people are clear that from the beginning they know that what we are doing is nonsense, all right? So we are not putting our hearts in it. So that tomorrow you don't say that somebody broke your heart or somebody carried your heart away and using it to play ball. All right? Why? Because from the beginning, you knew that I was not meant to take this seriously. But then, why play such gamble with your heart? Why play such risks with your heart? The Bible says, can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being burned? Can you carry fire in your bosom and your body will not be burned? So why are you playing rough play with another man's wife? Why are you touching someone else? All right? So please, wisdom is profitable to direct, the Bible says. All right? If you know that you cannot see yourself getting married to this person in the near possible future, don't even allow it become a relationship. Keep it as a platonic friendship. Have people in your life that when you call them, it's not only sex you're thinking of. Have people in your life that you people have such mutual respect for each other, that no vile conversation can come up in your midst. Yeah, have people like that in your life. Not everybody around you, just stupid people. Forgive my choice of words, but somebody said that nobody successfully fails alone. We always have other foolish people like him giving him ideas and cheering him on. Yes, now so it be, until everywhere spoiled. I remember again in secondary school, one of my friends that people gingered, come on. A particular lady spoke to him and they told him, are you taking that? If not me, I don't slap her. If not me, I will do this. The guy said, for what? Me, I'll do it. He went and gave the girl a slap. The girl fell down. Yeah. Thought she had fainted. He ran away. He was afraid. School punished him. All the people that told him, if not me, I would have done this. All of them say, why you go slap her now? What if she's not feeling fine? That the girl is sick. Why you go slap her? She said she did very frail. It's now they're telling you all those things. But before they're telling you, if it's me now, I can't take that. That's why you must overcome peer pressure. I said this at the beginning. You must overcome it. You must deliver yourself from that one that is being influenced by what people are saying and what every other person is doing. You must remove yourself from that one and be a person of purpose and convictions. Do things because you are convinced that this is what you should be doing part-time, even if no other person is doing it. All right? Sound convictions, not just bandwagon effect. All right? So, when people don't define what exactly they're doing, it is most likely to fail. So what should you do? Define your relationship. And if your partner doesn't agree with your definition, then it's a good place to part ways. If you and your partner cannot agree on the same definition of what you guys say you are doing, then it's a good place to part ways. Please. It's very important because two cannot work together unless they agree. Amos 3:3. All right, so make sure that you guys define it and that definition is fine for both of you. This one says, I want to get married next year. The other one says, marriage for me is next 6 years. You can like each other, but you must not go ahead. You will like each other and likefully decline that relationship. Let the one that's ready to get married next 2 years go and get married next 2 years. But you that say you're on 6 years time, you that is 2 years, don't force that one to bring it down to 6 years. You see, that's where some of the problem will happen. Let the person be convinced by themselves that, okay, yes, I want to get married now. All right, so much for that. Let me see if I can touch one or two more points before my time is fully out. All right. Oh, yes, another reason relationships fail is because the people who got into that relationship got in based on externalities. You know what externalities are? Looks. Bling bling. What the person is flashing. Shape. I always like to refer to that song. I'm in love with the shape of you. It's the shape of you I'm in love with. I'm not in love with you, but the shape of you, I'm in love with your body. All right. So you see that many times, these guys actually give out what exactly they want. They tell you from the beginning, man, see your shape. I was just scooping you from behind, man. You're so hot. If somebody is talking to you like that, why do you think that what is really in his mind is your welfare and your long-term? What is in his mind is your body. He wants a piece of you. That he has told you from the beginning. Many times you see all of those signs and you just believe that, no, I can corner him and later. I put up something on my TP today, how somebody says that, it was a picture of a shark or something like that. And then the girl says, I will change him. Let me look for that thing on my status. Let me look for it. Oh yeah, load. You know that this person is not compatible. You know that this thing cannot work. This person's value systems are completely different. But you say, it's very romantic. I will change him. We've established this again and again now. You cannot change anybody. All right? You cannot. It's not your work to do. All right? You can't do that. Okay? So the point I was making there is that people get into relationships because of externalities. Somebody comes to a party and flaunts a lot of cash. You say, man, this boy has money, and then I want to date him. And of course, he sees your body language, and being a guy man that he too is looking for somebody to carry home that day. And then he starts telling you some nice things, maybe splashes some money around you, takes you to a fancy restaurant, and you're like, oh my God, I've gotten a rich one. I've got, externalities, materialism. All right. Some people have not, now let me say this. Forgive me, ladies. Some ladies see a guy because of his looks, and they have already imagined all the things they will get off that guy when they start dating him. He will change their phone. He will give them the kind of hairstyles, hairs they want. They're thinking of their bags. They're thinking of the pictures they'll take in his car. They're thinking of when they'll get to his house. They're just thinking of for goodness sake. You don't get into a relationship because of all that now. And then tomorrow you start crying foul. All right. When you get into relationships based on externalities, it's a wrong foundation and it's going to blind you many times from observing, the qualities that should really matter to you. Yeah, it's going to blind your judgment. So you just see somebody and you're imagining a flashy life with them. You're imagining that baby girl life and you say, we must make this work. It does not have to work. Check values. Check spirituality. Do you understand? Check for the things that really matter to you. All right. Sorry, let me take a few comments. Yeah, someone says you attract who you are. That is so true. Okay, so do well to enhance your worth. All right, so that the kind of people you attract are also people that share the same kind of value with you. All right. Let me read this comment. And that's how they carried me for 60K shopping. I almost lost my sense, but I became white. So you see exactly what I was saying. How does somebody just splash you some money around you and you feel like, this is the one I've been waiting for, thank God you got your sense back after 3 days. All right. Thank God. All right. But there are many people who will be flashed with such wonderful externalities and they will lose guard and they will just be carried away. All right. So the idea is, beyond externalities, you want to know what drives this person. What is the quality of their inside? What is the quality of the person that they are? What you're going to be married to is that inner quality. It's not outside. Oh, some people don't know. People that are marrying because we will look very fine on Instagram and in events when we step out together, check out our stepping out. We are outside. Is when you are inside that you should be concerned about. Because that is where these ugly qualities in this person's life will be exposed. All right? Yes. It's when you're inside that the ugly quality, the things you cannot live with, that's where to be exposed. All right? So you must not just look at externalities alone. I keep telling people that even traps, some traps are made to be attractive. If you have ever baited a rat before, you use food, fish, nice things that can attract the rat. But meanwhile, the idea is to catch it and kill it. All right? So why do you think that every nice and attractive thing is supposed to be indulged? No, it's not supposed to be. All right? I see my pastors in the house, Reverend Chima and Reverend Lillian. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I see a lot of you guys, so forgive me that I've not been hollering you guys. Rhoda, of course, I see you there. All right? So, let me take one more reason before I close because of time. Don't forget, I said at the beginning, the things I'm saying are not all exhaustive. There are so many reasons, but these are just some that I find that, kind of top the list from interactions in this space. All right. Which one should I take now? Which one should I take? Which one should I take? There's so many. Compatibility. Have I spoken about compatibility before? Okay, let me just say something about compatibility, right? Compatibility is not a bad word. It's something that can be worked on. But then, for compatibility to work between two people, I believe that they must have some level of maturity and flexibility. Why? Because in compatibility, I'm not saying that both of us must like the same things, must just the same things. What I like, you like. What I hate, no, it might not always be the case. One person might have to, over time, learn how to accept certain things from the other person, even though you're not used to them, even though you don't necessarily like it, but it matters to your partner. All right. And that's where the maturity and flexibility comes in. Why am I saying this? Because I've seen people end relationships that could have worked because they said we are not compatible. And when I hear the issues, I'm saying, oh no, you should have given this time. There was a chance there. It could have worked. All right. There are certain things you're not compatible with at the point where you guys meet or where you met, right? But over time, you can grow into it, especially with guidance, right? And, I said something at the beginning, how that, many people don't give time for their relationships and marriage to work. You expect those changes to happen immediately. You expect those changes to happen at once. And when it's not happening, you just feel like, oh, no, we're not compatible. Calm down. If you guys allow yourselves to grow, there is a chance that in certain fundamental areas, you guys could become compatible. But then take note, first of all, that in compatibility, the foundation must be strong, must be the same. What do I mean by that? You cannot have two completely opposite value systems. And then you say we are compatible. I don't understand what your compatibility is. All right. You understand the grammar I just spoke? I don't understand that compatibility that you are doing. When your value systems are completely averse, to each other. No, you cannot be compatible. So first of all, what are your value systems? And I've said this again and again, that both of you say you are Christians does not even mean you are compatible. Because there are those who say they are Christians, but those who pray in tongues are deceiving themselves. They don't know what they are doing. Just pray in your heart. You don't need for all those, what's the word they used to describe it now, So yes, you say you're a Christian, but you don't even believe certain things that the Bible establishes. I mean, for goodness sake, the Bible says these signs will follow them that believe. In my name, they'll cast out demons, they'll heal the sick, they will speak with new tongues. You don't even believe. You select. So you see, that you say we are all Christians does not even mean that you're compatible, especially if your foundations in the word and in doctrine are not the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? Howbeit, right, when one's heart is open to education, to enlightenment, to training, to growth, there are chances that certain things you did not know before, you did not believe in before, probably based on your own exposure and upbringing. With proper exposure now and a readiness, all right, to be a better person, to learn, to improve, there are chances that you can now learn the right things, and then before you know it, you guys can relate on the same frequency. I hope somebody understands what I'm saying. So I'm saying this so that you don't dismiss certain cases just purely say because you are not compatible. There are certain things that, given the right environment and exposure, certain changes can begin to happen. But don't forget that these changes must come from the person themselves. They must be willing to change, to improve, to grow, to drop certain paradigms, to what's that word now? They say education is the ability to unlearn, learn, relearn. Do you understand? The person themselves must be willing to learn those things. If not, you cannot force learning on anybody. No, you cannot. All right. So, I don't know if I've done justice to that compatibility thing, but one of the reasons many people don't work in their relationships is that both of them were never meant to be together. This person says A, the other one says Z. And guess what? The worst part is that they are not willing to enroll themselves in a program of self-development towards working to harmonize and unify their visions in that relationship. So when they are like that, there's no chance that that relationship is going to work. No chance, it will not work. All right? No, it won't work. So go your separate ways. All right? But one thing you must understand is that for people, you have a question? Okay? I'll take it just now. What was I going to say? I think I lost that line of thought. Okay, let me read your question. Sorry, guys, I lost the line of thought. Okay, I have a question on compatibility with doctrine. Okay, a mentor told me that I don't have to be bent on dating from the strict Christocentric group. Okay, I don't know the context of that conversation you people were having, but let me tell you where things like this become important. There are certain things we have come to believe and hold on to as the foundations of our faith, right? If you are in a relationship with somebody who does not share the same foundation and is not willing to consider it, do you understand? I think you're going to be hurting yourself. In the long run, you guys will fall out. Why? Because there are certain things you believe by virtue of, doctrine. So let me give you a classical example. You guys are married. He doesn't believe in the Christocentric message. I don't even know what he believes in. Of course, Christocentric means Christ, all right? And by Christ, we're talking about Jesus Christ after his death, burial, and resurrection. All right. Okay. His finished works, after his finished works on Calvary. That's what we're talking about, Christocentric. All right. Because of course that's when the new covenant was established. That's just what I'm trying to say. So now you are marrying someone and the person doesn't believe in that. And then you guys have to pray, for example, for a particular, okay, let me say your child is sick and it's a kind of sickness you cannot explain. That one tells you, go to the hospital now. Let's just hope that the doctors know what to do. And doctors have told you we are confused. And then now says, what are we going to do now? If both of you had the same foundation in faith, come on, before you ever mention doctor, you will stay there, take authority over that sickness, cast it out. Do you understand? You will pray and agree together, even while seeking medical intervention if you still have to. Do you understand? Yeah, so So if you don't have that, if you don't have that same foundation, how would you surmount those difficulties when they come? How would you apply faith? How would you, see, people don't know that there will be obstacles in your marriage. There will be. You will have trying times. How would you go through those trying times? If you guys cannot pray together, if you cannot believe the same things, if you cannot stand together on the same foundations. All right, let me take a few comments there. Christocentric means saved by grace, justified by faith. Oh, yes. Pastor Lillian says some foundational things should be in place before you consider compatibility. Exactly. That's what we're saying. All right. So check those foundations. Don't just marry based on, he really treats me well, or my children will be very beautiful with this one. It's not by like that. It's not by like that. Beautiful children that will be children of a wife beater or of a serial cheat, or, that's not what you want. Children who don't have a good example in their lives, that's not what you want. All right. So please, I don't know why that mentor told you that, but for your own good, marry from the household of people who believe the same things that you believe. That is how your faith will grow together. That is how you guys will be able to surmount those challenges when they come. That is how you guys will also be spiritually intimate. Your spiritual intimacy will grow. Okay, let me take this other question, and I think I'll just end. It's already past my time. Love is not enough. Is it really a true statement? I'm trying to relate it to the compatibility thing. I think if you love someone genuinely, you'll want to be a better version of yourself. Okay, you see this conversation, right? Let me answer it, right? When people say love is not enough, many times what they are saying is feelings. All right. What people call love, take note, the world does not know what love is. So when they say love is not enough, what they're actually saying is the feelings, the mushy feelings, that attraction, that excitement, those butterflies in your tummy is not enough. That is a true statement. That is a true statement, because like I've said earlier, it takes more than feelings. You need sound judgment. You need commitment. All right. You need unconditional commitment to that person, right? Now, what is true love? The Bible says that God is love. All right. And in explaining what that is, you will see in 1 Corinthians 13 from verses 4 to 8a, it begins to list out what love is. It says love is patient. Love is kind. All right. Love is not self-seeking. Love does not keep record of wrongs. Love always hopes, always perseveres. Do you understand? Now, you see those qualities of love. Those qualities are enough. That is what it takes to run a marriage. Or you see it again in Galatians 5:22. Love is patient, love is kind, love is gentle, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, meekness, self-control. The Bible says against such there is no law. In other words, you cannot go wrong if you have these qualities. And I like to ask people, have you seen any person that you say, oh, this person is kind to me, this person is patient to me, this person has self-control, this person doesn't keep record of my wrongs, this person always believes in me, this person supports me, this person does all of this, and because of all these great qualities, I don't want to get married to this person. You hardly see that. Even though they exist, they exist. I've seen people who broke up with their men because they say the man is too good, or break up with their woman because they say the woman is too good. That's another level for another day's discussion, right? But my point here is that this love, the real love, what love really is enough. The challenge is that many people confuse feelings for love. But if you know what true love is, with that commitment, that unwavering commitment to making that person's life, to making that person's life better than you met them, that unwavering commitment to even improve yourself so that you can continually be good for that person, right? That love is enough. Okay, so the one that is not enough is the feelings love, which is not real love. But true love, in the qualities I just enumerated, is enough to sustain a marriage or a relationship. All right, but together with that, you must also add knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You have to keep growing in knowledge. All right, the Bible says, for it is by wisdom that a house is built. All right, by understanding his rooms are filled with nice and beautiful treasures. So you must have that love and keep growing, keep improving yourself, because many of the issues you'll be dealing with in your relationship are not love issues. They are maturity issues. They are wisdom issues. Hello. They are not feelings issues. They are wisdom issues. That is why you must self-improve, so that you can take the right decisions and not take decisions based on how you feel per time, but you can take decisions that are God glorifying, decisions that are beyond your feeling at the moment, but you know it's the right thing to do. I hope somebody understands what I'm saying. Okay, so in that case, love is enough. All right, but feelings, never enough. You can't go wrong if you have those qualities. Thank you, Gospel. All right, so yeah, love and growing in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Bam! Thank you, my pastor. Love is more than enough. If you know what love is, yes, that's exactly what we're saying. Okay, so I have to stop now because I have to try to keep this within the time. We'll do this again next week. I think I'll have a guest next week. And then by the last... Oh, I'm not having a guest next week. I'm supposed to have my banter next week. Okay, so next week I'm supposed to have a guy and a girl, and then we're going to talk about what guys want, what ladies want, and hopefully we'll draw a lot of insight from that, and people would learn. But please, I just want to encourage you, those of you who listen to these sessions, if you're single, please commit yourself to learning. In fact, one of the reasons I was going to say that why relationships fail is that people don't learn. They just expect that it will work. How will it just work like that? What do you know that has just worked like that? Why didn't you get into school? You did not read, you did not attend class. You just pass like that. Rhoda, you're a doctor now. Did you pass medical school like that? Do you understand? You don't become a lawyer just like that. You don't succeed at anything just like that. How do people just expect that relationship will work just like that? No, you must commit to learning. That is one reason relationships fail. All right, so commit to learning. You don't need to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a lover before you say, I want to start learning. No, start learning already. Okay, and that's why I commend people who show up every time we're having our session. Start learning already. It will do something to your mind. Many of the things I say, some people may not agree with them, but guess what? It has stayed. Somebody has given you something that is different from what you believed before. By the time you begin to ruminate on those things and maybe expose yourself to a little more ideas here and there, do you understand? It will further empower that thought, and before you know it, you find yourself moving from one paradigm that was disempowering to a paradigm that is going to help you, that is empowering. Okay, yeah, Rhoda, you suffered Pro-Max, Abi, but now you're a doctor and you're happy. Okay, so it's the same way you had to commit yourself. You read like your life depends on it. Thank you for that comment. It's the same way people should commit to improving themselves like their life depends on it. Because guess what? Your life can depend on it. Imagine you're building a beautiful career for yourself, and then because you have not learned anything about making marriage work, you get married and you guys are living hell at home. But at work, you are fine. But at home, you guys can't say eye to eye. It's even with time going to affect your performance. All right? So, my people, let me stop here for now. All right? But people must be committed to learning. So I encourage you, seek learning, seek these free sessions as much as you can. Get books, get tapes, attend seminars, attend courses. Lest I forget, let me say this. Please forgive me if I'm just saying it. Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo is having the Love, Dating and Marriage Conference in Lagos and Abuja this weekend. Lagos is happening tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, no? Friday, Saturday, yeah? And then Abuja is Sunday, Monday. All right? So please, I'll encourage you guys, register for it, attend. Okay. Why? Because it's another opportunity to learn from the experts. All right. I have to go for now. God bless you guys. See you again next Wednesday. We'll be having the banter session. All right. God bless you. Please spread these videos. Okay. We do a lot of short videos on YouTube and Instagram. Please share them. All right. People need to hear these things. People need to learn. Help somebody to help somebody to help another person. All right. That'll be all for now. I gotta go. God bless you. See ya and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.